Hey Stash fam, welcome back to Thunderstash Gaming, and before I even get into this review, I've got a Pac-Man bonus you probably didn't expect. Right before PAX, my old wallet was falling apart. Michaela suggested that I try a Ridge wallet, so I ordered one. Just as it arrived, I got an email that Ridge was releasing a Pac-Man 45th Anniversary Edition. So of course, I swapped mine out instantly because if I'm reviewing Pac-Man World 2 Re-PAC on Switch 2, I might as well celebrate Pac-Man in style, and honestly, that's the perfect way to describe this game. It's not just a remake, it's a full-on celebration of Pac-Man's 45-year legacy. And stick around until the end of this video because after I give my final thoughts, I've got a little bonus segment, the full unboxing of that Pac-Man wallet so you can see it up close. So, let's start right at the beginning. What's the story and how does this game present itself on Switch 2? Pac-Village is at peace until the ghost, Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde swipe the golden fruit and accidentally unleash Spooky, an ancient ghost king sealed away long ago. Pac-Man must journey across 6 themed worlds, reclaim the fruit, and save Pac-Land from destruction. Presentation-wise, this is leaps beyond the 2002 original that came out on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, and I personally had it on GameCube. On Switch 2, performance mode looks fantastic. Bright, vibrant, and silky smooth. Each world feels distinct, from colorful meadows and canyons to haunted forest, icy peaks, and fiery volcanoes. The details really sell it, like water drops splashing on the screen when you approach a waterfall, or the glow of lava lighting up rocky caverns. Cutscenes have been reanimated and expanded, adding humor and more personality. The art style keeps things cartoony and approachable, but modern. Audio is another highlight. You can unlock over 75 tracks as you play and set them in Pac-Village's jukebox, so the entire hub world has the vibe that you want. Combine that with lighthearted voice acting and it feels like Pac-Land is alive with energy, and I really enjoyed the voice acting. It was very good, but also just very funny, and I appreciate that. Alright, so the story is simple but charming, but now let's chomp down on the real meat of the game, and that's how it plays. At its core, Re-PAC 2 is still a 3D platformer, but with 20 years of polish layered on top. The improved camera alone makes a massive difference. Add in a shadow marker showing where Pac-Man will land, and suddenly tricky jumps feel fair and fun. Pac-Man's new moves open up gameplay in exciting ways. You have the Flutter Jump, which gives you just enough hang time to reach ledges you'd otherwise miss. Think of Yoshi's Flutter Jump in basically any Yoshi game. You have the Super Butt Bounce, which blasts enemies around you and lets you reach higher platforms, but you have to time the butt bounce at the peak of your first jump. So you jump, and right when you reach the peak, you press the jump button again, and then you can do a Super Butt Bounce will let you go even higher. Then you have the Pac-Dot Attack, which turns collectibles into projectiles, and when charged into a bomb attack, it clears tough foes with style. Classic abilities return too: wall climbing, flip kicks, which is probably going to be your main attack, swimming, ice skating, and even piloting the Pac-Marine submarine. Boss fights have been reimagined, with each ghost piloting a robo-animal. So mid-battle, they'll eat golden fruit to power up, adding a second phase that raises the stakes. But the biggest surprise is actually the 2-player co-op. Player 2 can control the Pac-Drone, which can suck up enemies, stun them with Pac-Dots, and even grab out-of-reach items. Michaela and I tested this in mouse mode using the second Joy-Con, and it worked beautifully. It's not a throwaway extra, it's actually a great way to make the game fun for kids, casual players, or just anyone who loves couch co-op. And it's like if Michaela's sitting there watching me play, it's like, hey babe, might as well pick up the controller and help me out here. Switch 2 enhancements are baked right in, so you get 2 visual modes: resolution mode for sharper detail, or performance mode for smooth gameplay. I stuck with performance mode, and I recommend that you try that out as well. It looks and feels fantastic. Load times also are basically gone. I mean, I didn't even notice them. HD Rumble 2 adds subtle but satisfying feedback. You can tell the game was tuned to take advantage of the HD Rumble 2. Whether docked or handheld, the game runs consistently smooth, making this the definitive version. So the controls are tighter than ever, but what about the pacing? Does Pac-Man sprint ahead or take a breather? The pacing is spot on. Levels are short enough for portable play, but packed with secrets, pun intended, making them rewarding in bite-sized sessions or longer marathons. Each world features 4 stages and a boss, but there's always something new to keep you engaged. A tricky platforming section, an environmental hazard, or a clever enemy layout. And again, boss battles, they strike a nice balance too. That second phase power-up when a ghost chomps a golden fruit adds excitement without cheap difficulty spikes. For example, my first big showdown with Clyde ended in a reward, the Pac-Man arcade cabinet itself, which I could then play in Pac-Village. And that kind of design keeps you invested in both the story and the rewards. Missions deepen the pacing even further. Beyond fruit collecting, you'll find goals like smashing crates or clearing all the traps. Miss them and you'll have to replay the stage if you want to get the reward, of course, which adds replay hooks and rewards completionists. So again, you're getting rewards like arcade games and different costumes, so these are things you're actually going to want to do. Accessibility hasn't been forgotten either. Fairy mode, which is new, offers invincibility, making the game approachable for kids or new players, while still keeping missions intact for veterans who want more of a challenge. And I think it's a very well balanced package. Speaking of extras, let's step out of the levels for a minute and take a tour of Pac-Village. This remake feels like a celebration. Pac-Village is more than just a hub, it's kind of the heart of the game. And as you collect golden fruit, the wormwood fades and new areas unlock, giving a sense of progression outside the main levels. Inside the village, you have Nova's boutique, which lets Pac-Man change costumes, giving him a little extra flair. Then you got Clyde's arcade, which is packed with activities. Play the maze stages unlocked by hidden Galaxians, which you find in the levels. Pull from Gashapon machines for figurines, which Gashapon machines are basically vending machines where you put a quarter in and you turn it. But they're called Gashapon machines in the game. You can replay all of the cutscenes in the arcade on a CRT style TV, which I thought was cool. And you can even boot up some Pac-Man arcade games. I won't say any more detail than that because you guys should experience that for yourself. Also, there's a jukebox in there that has over 75 unlockable songs, and you can set them as background music while exploring Pac-Village or in the stage select screen. And I think it's such a clever touch that makes the hub feel like your space. Maze mode deserves special mention. It's like a modern remix of the classic Pac-Man formula, rewarding you with coins that then fill the vending machine pulls. So you can collect figurines that you can place all throughout Pac-Village, unlock music, and chase new challenges, which keeps you invested well beyond the main campaign. And yes, there are Sonic crossover levels. Now they're not available yet because it's DLC. However, I will be returning to check these out. From what I've read, there's going to be dash panels, speed boost mechanics, and even a Sonic-inspired boss battle. So it's a surprising but fun nod that adds personality to this already stacked package. So who is this game for? And honestly, it's for everyone. Hardcore Pac-Man fans like me will love the Easter eggs and the arcade callbacks. Families will enjoy the co-op drone mode. Platformer fans get a polished, responsive adventure. and newcomers get an approachable, content-rich introduction to Pac-Man's world. And again, I can even recommend this to couples because Michaela and I played this together, and she doesn't play a ton of platforming games, but to be able to control the Pac-Man drone in mouse mode and shoot pellets at enemies so I can then attack them was really cool. And then it also helps because you can get some of those fruits that are tough to find or tough to get. And I thought that was really fun. We had a good time doing it. So we've got the content, but is it fun enough to keep you coming back? Let's find out. Replay value is everywhere in Pac-Man World 2 Re-PAC. Every stage has missions that encourage you to come back, like smashing all the bear traps or crates, and clearing them earns you unique rewards, including new costumes for Pac-Man. Again, it's a clever incentive that makes replaying levels feel worthwhile instead of repetitive. Then you've got the time trial missions, where you race the clock to beat a stage as fast as possible. These aren't just throwaway extras. They tie into online leaderboards, letting you compete for the best times on your platform. It's the kind of feature that speedrunners and completionists will love, while casual players can still enjoy shaving a few seconds off their best runs. And on top of that, maze mode is addictive, rewarding you with coins for those vending machines, the jukebox turning Pac-Village into your personal soundtrack station, and collectibles like costumes, figurines, and missions. It just all keeps you coming back long after the credits roll. And the best part is the fun factor doesn't fade. The variety of environments, clever boss designs, and addictive extras make it enjoyable from start to finish. And without spoiling anything, let's just say Pac-Man's journey doesn't end when the credits roll. There's even more waiting for you if you keep exploring. But I'm not going to say anything else about that, okay? Because you got to enjoy that for yourself. This is one of those games that doesn't just celebrate Pac-Man, it makes you want to celebrate with him. And speaking of celebration, let's zoom out and talk about Pac-Man's legacy. Now look, I can't talk about Pac-Man World 2 without talking about Pac-Man's legacy. Pac-Man is very much a cultural phenomenon that needs to be said because it's been 45 years, right? And some of the younger audience may not know about this. But Pac-Man first hit arcades in 1980, and it didn't just succeed, it absolutely dominated. It became the highest grossing arcade game of all time and helped push video games into the mainstream. But what really set Pac-Man apart was how it captured the world's imagination. Instead of shooting aliens or spaceships in something like Space Invaders, you were eating dots and avoiding ghosts. And somehow that simple concept was irresistible. By 1981, the craze had an official name. It was called Pac-Man Fever. The novelty song by Buckner and Garcia hit the Billboard Top 10 and sold over 1 million copies. Saturday morning cartoons followed, toys, metal lunchboxes, t-shirts. Pac-Man was everywhere. If you grew up in the 80s, you didn't just know Pac-Man, you lived Pac-Man. He wasn't just a game character, he was a global icon. And I'll be honest, that connection's never left me. I own the original Pac-Man arcade cabinet, as well as the Miss Pac-Man cocktail arcade table. And like I mentioned in my PAX impressions a few weeks ago, whenever I see a Pac-Man machine out in the wild, no matter what my schedule is, I have to stop and play it. It's part nostalgia, part ritual, and part respect for the game that helped shape my love of this medium. That's why this 45th anniversary release feels special. It isn't just a rebuild of a 2002 3D platformer. It's a reminder that Pac-Man's legacy is still alive and well, still fun, and still worth celebrating. Re-PAC 2 respects the past while modernizing for the present, showing how a character born in the arcades can still thrive on today's hardware. It proves that Pac-Man isn't just retro history, he's gaming royalty, and he's still relevant 45 years later. Alright friends, now it's time for my final thoughts. Pac-Man World 2 Re-PAC is more than just a remake, it's a full-on celebration of one of gaming's most important icons. For $30, you're not only getting a polished 3D platformer rebuilt from the ground up, but also a hub world packed with extras, Sonic crossover levels, couch co-op with the Pac-Drone, addictive maze stages, a jukebox with over 75 songs to unlock, collectible figurines, which I don't even know how many there are, that's how many there are, costumes, missions, time trials, and even surprises that wait for you after the credits roll that, let me just say, are significant. That's a lot of game for the price. What really impresses me though is how Bandai Namco struck a balance between honoring the original 2002 release and modernizing it for today. The camera feels modern, which, let me just say, for the younger cats out there, in the late 90s, early 2000s, 3D platformers were still trying to figure out how to nail the camera, and the fact that we now have a fully functioning camera cannot be understated. The controls are tight, and Switch 2's performance mode makes it buttery smooth. Yet the game never loses its heart, it still feels like Pac-Man. And when you zoom out, you realize this is part of something bigger. It's Pac-Man's 45th birthday. This game feels like a birthday party that we're all invited to. For me personally, someone who grew up with Pac-Man, owns the arcade cabinets at home, and still can't resist stopping to play whenever I spot one out in the wild, this feels like a tribute to my childhood and a gift to today's players at the same time. So yes, this one absolutely gets my full Thunderstruck recommendation. Whether you're a lifelong Pac-Man fan, a platformer enthusiast, or someone looking for a great value on Switch 2, Pac-Man World 2 Re-PAC is worth picking up. Huge thank you again to Bandai Namco for providing me with the review code. And as always, remember, you're never too old to play video games. Alright guys, so here we go. We're gonna unbox the Pac-Man wallet and the key case right here. This is the key case, okay? Oh, that's sick. Look at that. Ridge X Pac-Man. That's awesome. It's embossed a little bit. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got a Pac-Man Ridge sticker. And little advertisement here. Explains probably how to use it. I'm reading this backwards, so let me flip it for you guys so you can see. Got that. Got some instructions, the QR code there, okay? Really nice packaging and presentation. They hit a home run there. Okay. And we got my key ring. Again, I gotta look at all these parts. Another key ring, I guess. This is the main component there. And again, you got a clip there. And so this was a little bonus, right? The whole point was to get the wallet. Again, because, as I showed you guys earlier, you know, my wallet's pretty beat up here. Now, to the main event. The Pac-Man wallet. All right, here we go. Here's the wallet. Look at that. This is so cool. Let me flip it for you. There you go. And there's the back side. So this is how it normally looks right here. And these are the screws. And then I'm gonna do a little editing and fast forward so you guys can see how it looks with the iridescent screws. All right guys, there you go. The wallet is now reconfigured with these awesome iridescent screws, and I'll give you a nice little close-up there. You can see just how cool those look. Really nice. Hey guys, I got to the end of recording the video and I realized that I didn't show you what my Ridge Pac-Man wallet and keys look like now that I've actually started using them. So let me show you real quick here. So these are my keys. This is my key to my Jeep, and you guys can see right here. Let me get that focus for you, and that's what the key looks like, right? And what's cool is like your keys are actually inside of this. So like, there's my keys right here. And when you're not using them, right, obviously they go like that. And so now you don't have keys like bulging out of your pocket like I usually did. And then here's the wallet. And again, the wallet's so cool. There you guys go right there. And you guys can see it's got those iridescent screws all across it. And then on the back side, keep your money here, holds it in place. And then all of your cards are right in here. So you just slide the card out. Pretty sweet, right? So at any rate, I want to make sure I showed that to you guys. Very cool. Pac-Man 45th Anniversary Ridge wallet right here. And the keys that you can get to, the daily driver set is what this is called. Right there from Ridge. And again, I have no sponsorship or anything. I just want to show that to you guys. All right? Thank you. Have a great day.